tries. Back of the pack is Winderlick. Quick handball to Hocking. Back to Lovett Murray. He goes short. It's a mark to Zaharakis. Zaharakis has kicked a goal. The Bombers are in front of the G.
It's time to strap in and get ready. The leaders in AFL Supercoach are incoming, helping you win your leagues and climb up the rankings. You're now listening to the Insight AFL Show with your hosts, Big Horse, Skiddy, and Herbie.
G'day and welcome to the Insight AFL Show. I am your host, the Supercoach Big Horse, and with me, as always, decked out in his Insight merchandise, which will be available soon enough. Skiddy, how are you, mate?
Let's bloody hope so, mate, because, it's not bad. It's not bad. The beanie's looking very, very slick. I really like the jumper, the way that turned out. Gee, Whistle's done an absolute amazing job there, Horse. So, and I'm ready to get stuck into a nice round 6, the last week before DPP first wave comes through to us. So
that's right.
Got to make sure that we get a few in there tonight, Horsey boy.
Yes, sir. And if you missed it, Skiddy and I dropped an episode a couple of days ago where we brought up every person that will receive DPP and some that may miss out on it, but there will be 2 other goes at it as to when players can receive DPP. So be sure to check that out on YouTube, audio platforms, all that sort of jazz. But today we're talking round 6. So if you haven't yet, please hit like, subscribe, and the bell. Be a triple banger, please. We appreciate your support. But also jump in our Discord. Inside Unlimited is live, and for less than 50 cents a week, which is a zinger box, upsized, extra burger on the size. Get rid of the potato and gravy. Get yourself a dinner roll. Jam the chips in the dinner roll. Delicious. Ooh. You'll get access to everything we do. Our insights, our trades, our captains, exclusive premium Q&A, every round of Supercoach, and a few other cool perks. Entry to our Discord. If you just wanted to chat footy, though, will be free and will always be free. If you just wanted to get involved and chew the fat, chew footy with a heap of other just absolute dead set legends.
Fucking nice.
Our Unlimited League, 913351. I repeat, 913351. We have nearly 500 in there. Let's get it to 600-700 before we close it off before the buy round. So you will receive a Supercoach Champions ring if you finish number 1. Thanks to the guys, that's right, mate, at Supercoach Rings. Now, before we get into it, mate, there's a couple of episodes that we like doing here. The Cone of the Week we'll get to, but we're going to start it off with Skiddy's Squeeze of the Week.
It's squeeze time, Horse. That's right, boys. Get it in. Get your picks in. Who you think is going to be. I haven't even rubbed it off from last week. Jeez, I'm getting slack. Get your picks in for who you think is going to be the highest individual scorer of the round. If you think it's going to be Isaac Heaney dropping another 160 bomb and you think it's going to be the highest, chuck that in the chat and you have a chance, free of charge, to win a standard squeeze pack from our men at the Standard Squeeze. I've ruined that ad read, but who gives a shit? But yeah, all you got to do, you chuck your favourite in there. We see a couple of boys coming through now. Ryan Hammond, Brano. Okay, Horse, I have to stop it for a second right now.
Okay. What do you got?
How the fuck is Bevo bringing the cone in? Are you shitting me up the wall?
It's going to come in shortly, but is there a chance the Cone himself could win Cone of the Week?
There's an excellent chance that he's going to win Cone of the Week because everything he's done is Cone worthy. So we'll wait and see. I cannot believe it. Bevo's come out. He's done all these promises. Oh, we're going to make sure that we give our best foot forward. We're going to make sure that we do all this. Yeah, what's he done?
Yeah.
Brings the Cone in stock and crowds the forward line again. You love to see it, Bevo. So
now
we'll see if they can win.
Before we continue on, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to leave all questions to the end to try and get ourselves through the episode a little more efficiently. Last week, we nearly ticked up 2.5 hours worth of podcast. And as much as we love it, we do have families that we need to attend to. But for those of you that were asking, I have to bring this one up before we shelve the questions till later. Ian has said he has news in relation to his 15-year-old son. He kicked him out, but he came 215th last week. So He's living his life through him, and he's allowed back in the house. So if you saw his son having a sleep at the train station, he's back, and he's back inside the house. So congratulations to that young man. But
good on him, man.
No pressure, but if you don't keep up your top 215 ranking, mate, you might be back at the train station before you know it.
Good chance.
Now, our first game, mate, is going to be the Western Bulldogs and the Saints at Marvel. But all of our games today are going to be brought to you by our friends at the Standard Squeeze, who have been with us since day one, helping you drink responsibly and conveniently. You can go to the website, thestandardsqueeze.com, and use the code IFS15 to get yourself 15% off everything in store. Mm-hmm. As we said, mate, our first game, Dogs versus Saints, 7:30 at Marvel. The cone is in. What?
Unbelievable. Cone's in, Garcia in, Harms in. That's for the Dogs with Jamari Ugle-Hagan personal reasons. So the cone actually may be somewhat useful because the forward line won't be as crowded. Libba, obviously, injured ankle, so we knew he was going to be out. And Oscar Baker gets omitted. For the Saints, they drop Max King and bring in Zach Jones, another midfielder. Interesting. It's an interesting take, so not too bad there. But when we talk about our Supercoach teams, Horsey boy, we need to see a massive bounce back from Bont and English, because they were shit last week.
They were absolutely shit. Bont's ankle syndromosis and the likelihood that Bevo, as he's come out in the news saying that he wants to play Tingles more forward. Over under, mate, before we get into Supercoach stuff, Bevo's got his job for 4 more weeks. Over or under?
Oh, I mean, he's a premiership coach, so maybe it gives him a little bit more time, but far out, he's got to be going soon, because he is, for a team that has that much talent on their team list, he's fucking them dry.
Absolutely is. 2016, they won that premiership, so 8 years later, and he's slowly fucking them from the inside out. But Bont, his last 3 games against St Kilda, mate, quite large.
Yeah, mate, he has gone 125, 181, and 159 in his last 3 against the Saints, so he does like playing them. Also, to note about that, only one of those games English played well in, and that was his 125. The 181 and the 159 were both when Marshall whipped Tingle's ass, and Bont still did that well. So, I can see another big game coming here from Bont, because all the bullshit that's come through, Bont's going to have an absolute weapon of a game, I reckon. Bramble, though, 357K. I'm not 100% sure right now on Bramble.
Nah, I don't like the way that Bevo's mixing and matching stuff with this side.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs used to be very safe in regards to your Supercoach picks. Like, you knew you were going to get your hundreds out of Bont and McRae and Daniel and English and Libba. And even if they lost, they were still scoring well.
Yeah.
But now you just don't know. And if I had my time again, I probably wouldn't pick English in the ruck. Like, I know that's easy to say now because he hasn't been performing of late, but he could be under 600K this week, mate.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. And he's just got to bounce it back. And it's not a tough, it's a very tough ask to be able to do it against Rowan Marshall, who has been one of the of the league. And imagine if he can put a whole game's worth together, he could almost go 200. But that's all right. The zinger, though, I'm worried what Pep.
I like his footballing ability. I don't like his super coach upside, because we just don't know what he's given week in, week out. One thing I do want to bring up while we were mentioning the cone, mate, is that is he going to potentially fuck the chance of Darcy getting DPP in the ruck?
Oh, there is a genuine chance of that, but because he can also run through the ruck. And we've seen what happens when you put Rory Lobb into a already 2 forward lineup, and it just does not work at all. So him, Darcy, and Norton are not going to work up forward. Maybe Darcy sees a bit more time down back.
That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I agree there, mate. So Bailey, Zinger, I'm still holding for now, because I think there's a better person to be able to get rid of this week, but he's pretty much gone, I reckon. Bailey Dale, 427K, break even to 184. Why is that important? Because he could be at 380K, and if he stops getting subbed by Bebo's bullshit, we know he can put up Supercoach scores. Very interesting at 380.
Absolutely. Yeah. Darcy at 252K, negative 23 break even. Yeah. Let's see what happens with the magnets this week. Gallagher, 223K. No, thank you. And McRae,
Mm-hmm.
496K, mate. He's got 158 break even. He looked a little bit better last week.
Mm-hmm.
If you were just basing your pick on this week, would you bring
Mm-hmm.
him in?
Yes.
Yep.
Quite easily, purely because Libba's going to be gone. They need
Mm-hmm.
that in and under, which is probably going to be filled by the role of Treloar, and then they're going to bring McRae for most of the runoff.
You're right.
You would think that they'd bring in the zinger. I'm not so sure. I think they're going to go more experience-wise against the bigger bodies that the Saints are able to put in the middle as well.
You're right. I think you're right. For St Kilda, mate, Jack Steele, 624K.
What else do you need to say, mate? He's absolutely unbelievable. He's doing everything out there. He's doing what Libba was doing last year, and he's just keeps on keeping on. So good.
You know what he's averaging this year so far?
It's ridiculously north of 100 and something.
130 Jack Steele is averaging this year.
And imagine if you brought him in at the start, like you said, 520-ish K. Oh, juicy.
Yep. He's got a break even of 70 and could make another 25K this week.
Oh, that is just delicious. Yeah. Absolutely love that there.
Marshall,
also too,
129. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 129 last time against the Western Bulldogs, break even to 78, and could make more coin. It will be interesting to see how he goes against the English Darcy Cone combo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mate. I mean, it's a big watch out. I think it could be all right for Marshall. He just needs to play a full game of footy. He's been pretty much only playing one half of footy, and he's still putting up 120s, 140s. So it's interesting there. We get to go the Wang. Let's swing 'em, boys. Yes, sir, the Wang. 516K now, so he's definitely gone up a few. He's got an 86 break even, so he still could go up a little bit more now. Great roll of halfback. We know that it's now diminishing the boner. Sinclair is also moving a little bit more into the middle, which does make it a little bit better for the Wang. Definitely still a hold there for me.
Absolutely. The boner, the stiffy. He's gone. I've traded him. He's gone.
Yep.
I know he's got a break even 57, which he'll easily make, but it's time to sell it. I watched the Saints game last week and watching Hill run around by himself on the wing, being another generator off halfback, and it worries me. So, the boner, he's gone. I've actually upgraded him into Flanders this week, so I'm pretty happy with that.
If you do want to hold one more week, I don't hate it.
No, I don't hate it, but don't love it. Hill, 416K, he's got a break even of 30, could make 20K this week. He's a bit too up and down, but geez, he looked good last week, didn't he?
Oh, far. That was one of the better games that I've ever seen him play. And
I think that was his top score ever in Supercoach.
Does not surprise me. He looked amazing last week. And if they continue to use that role, which is not a big ask, even like at the slightest at all, it hurts Darcy Wilson, but shit, he looked good. Yep.
Speaking of Darcy Wilson, mate, 204K, -3 break even. If you've got him, you've got to hold him because now he's got the negative break even again.
Yep, absolutely. I've still got him in my team. Couldn't get rid of him, so no, he's still staying there. Jack Sinclair, though, this is one that is very, very interesting. 562K, probably a little bit high right now, but break even of 107. I'd like to give him a little bit more cheaper, but I still think that it could come down a little bit. He's looking a lot better. If it's not one of those players, though, where I'm going, I have to get him in. I have to get him in at all costs. If he falls to the right price, I'll definitely take it, but if not, then no thanks.
Absolutely. Spot on, mate. The next game we have will be Adelaide Crom versus the Bombers.
Flag Crom.
Yeah, flag. Yeah. Hopefully not this week. But big news out of Adelaide. Crouch is suspended.
The potato.
As we brought up in he's gone. As we brought up in previous podcasts, Adelaide should contest the 1 week and appeal that he gets 10 weeks because he's fucking ordinary and he messes their side up. Soligo is so much of a better player inside. Their midfield just works so much better without Crouch there. In a footballing sense, I'm an Essendon supporter, but I hope they win this week and just prove to Nix that they are a better side without Crouch in the team. Speaking on a footballing sense, from a supporter sense, I hope Essendon win, but I'm actually a bit worried about this game because without Crouch, I think they're going to get more attacking and it's going to help the likes of Laird, Rankin and Dawson this game.
Yep, I like that, mate. And also, too, I'm loving what they're doing with bringing Rochelle and Rankin rolling through the middle as well. I reckon they look fantastic while going through the guts there. Hopefully they just keep the Crouch potato out. And hopefully this man, Rory Laird, 610K. Bit of a down week last week after his absolute model of consistency before that. He's got a break even of 151. He could be under the 600 tag. I still think the upside's a little bit capped just in case Crouch does come back in because it does hurt lead. But without him, I expect him to go quite large this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll make reference to one in the chat, mate. How come Crouch didn't get the good bloke tax? I'll let you make up your mind as to why he didn't get it. Minja's Hinge, mate. 494K. He's burst onto the scene, hasn't he? We brought him up 3 weeks ago as someone to watch, and sure enough, he's got a break even of 57 at 494K. He's going to be north of 500.
100%, mate. And look, the Wayne Malira, him going out of the side left a massive gaping opening for Minge. Oh, sorry. So, he's playing extremely good footy, and I really like the way that he's going about it. Isaac Rankin, this is one here. 454K. He has a break even of 49. The midfield time is increasing, and he's getting a lot of centre bounce clearances. He's looking very, very nice. He's getting extra points for being in there as well. He's still kicking goals when he comes forward. Now, historically, he doesn't score well against the Bombers, but he's never had this midfield role before that he can have now. That 122, that could just be the iceberg, mate. He's very, very exciting. Think Shy Bolton-esque.
You took the words out of my mouth. Think Shy Bolton. Yep.
And we're not being racist because they're both Aboriginal. It's because they play alike. All right.
Yeah, so absolutely. They're both freakish players. Yeah. Dawson at 517K, 131 break even. He could be 500K next week.
Ooh.
But you know what? Against Essendon, without Crouch on the side, he could get 130 as well.
Easily. He was doing this for fun last year, so I could definitely see it.
Salago, whatever you want to call him. 418K. 12 break even, could make 25K this week. He looks good in there.
Oh, mate, he looks fantastic in there. So much better than Crouch Potato. We don't need to see it. Just keep Saligo in. Yep. Saligo. Horse, do you see what you've done to me now? I cannot pronounce his name now because you've fucking done this to me.
I love it.
Jake Saligo. Saligo.
There was a message in our chat as well about whether Saligo could get DPP. Not yet. Not yet, because the last couple of weeks he's played predominantly as a midfielder. Before that, he was a forward when he was getting subbed on. Potentially round 12 if it comes to that. But I can't remember who wrote that message to us, but we will keep tabs on it for you. Luke Nankervis, 243K, -3 break even, but there's better options elsewhere. For Essendon, mate. There's pretty much just...
Horsey. I love that one, mate. Braino said, call him the slug. Yeah, Saligo is now the slug.
Okay, the slug. Thanks to our resident man, the Brain, who runs an absolute show over there at the NRL, doesn't he?
Tight ship.
Real tight ship. Kind of like us.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
For Essendon, mate, Merritt, 666. Oh, the Devils number. I'm not touching it just because of that. 135 break even, but he will be a top 8 mid this season.
Yep. If you have him, he plays very nicely against Adelaide too, and that was without Crouch last year as well. So if you do have Merritt, it could definitely be a C option.
Now,
VC.
Nick Martin, DPP coming this week.
Yep.
Break even of 87, 563K. Could go up another 20K this week. Did someone mention in the preseason he could be a top 6-8 defender this year?
Yeah, I saw it on some great podcast. Oh, but that was you.
Yeah. What do you know?
What do you know? Look what he's doing now.
Look what he's doing. He's smashing it. If you've got him, hold him. If you don't have him, seriously look at bringing him in. He did sweet fuck all last week, but he still scored 100. Imagine once he actually, and 24 touches, I think it was. And I think he will go massive against the Crows, as Ryan's just put in the chat, because the Crows allow a lot of points in their back half as they zone off up the field. So
correct.
There you go. Dersma, 423K, break even of 24. He could make 25K, but no thank you. Parrish, 544K. So he dropped 56,000 last week.
Yep.
176 break even this week. Could lose another 40K. Woo. This is getting juicy. This is Dawson, Parrish. The list goes on. The primos that are falling. Oliver.
Yep. Clary. Yep. It makes it very, very interesting.
That's why it's important to get your rookies right. Get some cash out of your rookies. Downgrade a couple into Dawson, Parrish, Oliver. You add 3 of them into your 5 primos that you've got already, and all of a sudden your midfield set. So
exactly right.
Really like that. And one that we brought up, mate, on our DPP pod that we dropped a couple of days ago. Sam
Yes,
Draper.
Mm-hmm.
360K.
Yep.
But if he plays 35% forward this week, he gets a forward ruck eligibility.
Oof. And isn't that a little bit saucy? Because if we see Goldie go down, oh my God, the floodgates are opening for Draper. He's a lot better than he used to be. So we could definitely see a little bit of something coming on for the Drapes.
Absolutely. Mate, sat the Arvo. Collingwood versus Port Adelaide at the G. The same game last year. Collingwood smacked them by 10 goals.
Yeah, they did, mate. And this is looking like it could be a very, very good matchup here. Obviously, Port coming off a very hard-fought win against the Dockers, while the Pies had the bye. So we'll see how that comes into it. Nick Dacos is the one I'm watching mostly for the Pies, though. 108 break even, 566K. I think he should be able to get that. He had 149 last year, round 2 against Port. He's the only player for the Pies that's averaging over 100 this year.
There you go.
Yeah, they have
very
really
interesting,
slowed
mate.
down their game
haven't
style.
Haven't they? DeGorn, he's not my team, 432K, break even to 53. This is the cheapest you'll get him if you want him, but only 1 ton over the last 3 against Port Adelaide. And I reckon he's only tonned up once this year so far as well. So
it is very interesting, though, for a player like of DeGoey's caliber. Like, I know he's not Dawson Clary Supercoach esque, but 432K, like shit, it almost says, hey, this could be a chance that you could have a swing at, and just hope that he bounces back and starts to pull himself, because we know he has that kind of potential.
Absolutely. Jack Crisp, 425K, watch for the DPP. He's on the up, scored, was it 101 last game? So he could be rolling back into form. And if you want to take a risk, there's definitely worse. But the Pies are all over the shop. So long story short, Dacos is probably the only one we're really targeting there at the moment. Port Adelaide, tight win last week as the ship continues to roll. The big, would you call them the big 4? Butters, Rosie, Houston, and Horny Boy? Or just
I wouldn't
the big
put Horny
3?
Boy in there. No, just the big 3. That's fine.
Big
Rosie,
3.
Butters, and Houston, they're all just still rolling. They're all way too pricey at the moment to bring in. They're still just rolling their break evens and everything like that. I don't see a C option for any of them in this game. Pies' game plan is just going to slow it down way too much, so I wouldn't be picking any of them for C. Kane Farrell, though, Jesus Christ, what a game he played last week. He's 391K, 51 break even. If he continues on that halfback flank role, pushed away from the wing and getting more of these long bombs, more of these contested possessions on the halfback rather than the opposite side of the wing, absolutely sensational. I know Houston's there too, but it does not bother me in the slightest, mate. If he's that other side, he can still push over to it. That game he played last week was so bloody good and so eye-opening. He normally was averaging about 75 or something like that on a wing. And, obviously on an AFL ground, the wing you can play either side and he's not going to push across and be in the contest. But if he plays that half back, he can push into it easily and score over a ton.
I knew you were going to bring up this guy, so I actually did a quick research before we started the pod. So he's played 3 games at halfback and 2 games on the wing this year.
Yep.
At halfback, he scored 105, 101, 115. When he's played on the wing, 33, 56.
There you go. So all tons in those 3 games on the wing. That's bloody saucy.
Yeah. Geez, you're getting a lot of love in the chat, mate. I love this for you.
I know. Oh, thank you so much, boys. I love you all too. Thank you so much. I'll continue to be me.
Just a funny man.
I am going to lose it in
Toot, Ollie Wines. No, not touching him.
Nah. Even though he's playing over his shit. No, not at 490K. I'd rather wait for him to drop. Horn Francis, though, 475K break even of 45. Could make another 20K this week. We'll be close to 500K this week. And you need a lot of forward time for him to get that dual position forward.
53% forward he needs.
Now, I'm not saying there's a good chance, but there is still a chance because the core midfield are playing all in this game. So there is a chance.
There is a chance.
But not a high one.
No. And Jace Burgoyne, 208K, negative 3 break even, may make 30K extra. He did score a 90 last week, but not for me. Sorry.
He's the one that's taken Farrell's wing. So that's basically how they've ran it now with Farrell going into the back line.
And just before we finish up talking about Port Adelaide, got Bryce in the chat. If you started with Houston, you hold him, mate. He is a top 8 defender.
Yeah.
Carlton,
no, you're not getting better.
No, Carlton take on the undefeated Giants at Marvel Stadium, mate.
Yes, sir. We have, so the Giants, absolutely rolling. 6-0, rolling, best team in the comp at the moment, except for that last quarter against St Kilda. But yeah, we've got a lot to watch in this game, mate, because there is some shit that's going on. Tom Green, be better. That's all I have to say from him. You're still holding him, though. I don't care if it was a shocker. That I am purely putting that down to Witts having that shoulder issue, and he's not being able to ruck. What I said Witts. Being able to ruck perfectly to Green, he'll be better than that. Whitfield, 555k, 120 break even. If you have him, you're still holding him. I think he can make top 6 defender. He's going to be close, if not. And yes, the porn star Tom Green, love him. But do you reckon Whitfield can be a top 6 defender?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
I reckon I have him.
Yeah.
I have him about roughly about 5 to 8. I reckon there's a little bit of a log jam there, but I think you can feel happy with having Whitfield in there anyway.
Yep. For those of you that are tuning in and listening on all good audio platforms, Skiddy has done an absolute wonderful thing and hooked us up with someone that has some expert ties with Champion Data. We've managed to record a podcast with him that will drop on Friday evening. So if you want to know all the ins and outs of Champion Data and how they score players and how certain parts of the game are scored and how players can lose points even if they're on the bench, that is one you're not going to want to miss. Great work.
I'll tell you,
Skiddy.
I thought I had my head wrapped around Supercoach, and then he comes in. I'm just like, holy shit. Just make sure you get your notepads ready, lads, because it was an absolute cracker.
He's averaging over 90. That's all I need to worry about, brother. Hogan, if you have him, see ya.
See you later.
Yep. Kelly, 527k. Really good pickup here. I'm banking him for an average of, without Cogs in the side especially, he'll go 115 plus without Cogs in the side.
I can definitely say that too. And Cogs is out for 4-5 weeks roughly. So, Kelly at that price does seem a little bit nice, so I don't mind having a look at Kelly there. The break even, I didn't look at, so Briggsy, 544k. He has a break even of 166. He could lose another 33k this week, but Briggs at 500, shit, I might be having a look at that.
Yeah, I need to see him fit first.
Yeah, I agree.
To bring him in.
Still, like, far out, that seems bloody good value, but it's definitely something that come into the conversation. Lockie Ash, obviously inflated last week because of his half-back role, and they were chipping around all the time. Not low enough for me to be able to have a go at, but I do like his role, and I do like him as a player. Cadman, 271k, break even of 40. I think he's nearly done if you still have him.
So, he's gone for me.
Gone? All right, fair enough. Especially against Carlton's backline too. They do... I don't know, Wiedering's out, isn't he?
Is he? I didn't see that.
I think... Is Wiedering out? No, sorry. Wait.
No, McGovern.
McGovern's out. Sorry. Yeah. Well, that means Hogan will cop Wiedering, and then, actually, Cadman... Actually, maybe you can hold him another week. Yeah. I reckon it's iffy. It's around the mark, but there's a couple of others that you could go. Harvey Thomas, though, 250k, break even of 38. He had that 86 last week. That's in rotation for the next 3. Yep. As long as he doesn't have the vest, I'm happy to have a hold of him.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. While you were talking there, I've done some quick research on Kelly as well, Josh Kelly. If you're going to bring him in while Cogs is out, this week is the week he averages 130 against Carlton in his last 3, 104, 148, and 156 in his last 3 games against Carlton.
Also, too, Kiz has just told us that Canelio's injury report says he only has 2 weeks, which seems a bit more weird for a knee. So I'm not either way. I'm not having that bank on Kelly then.
Yep. And Jared, thank you for joining us, mate. If you're up to your last boost, you are holding it. You are not boosting this week, brother. Yep, we're 245k, 10 break even. If you've got him, you're holding him. If you don't have him, you are not bothering. For Carlton, Crips Chips.
Baggers.
555k.
And I'm still not touching him.
Nah, 112, 118 last two against the Giants. No thanks. Now, Walsh. Samuel Walsh.
Slamming.
166 last week. He has good games against the Giants too. Injury history. Could you go early?
I'm not going early. That's for 100%. But I am definitely looking at next week.
Yep. Do you think they manage him?
I don't think so. They didn't do it last year. The only reason that he it was out last year is because he got another inconspicuous injury. And I think that they have, and I think that because the reports came out and said that he was ready for round 4, but they wanted to just keep him the extra week just to make sure he could get through the season. Hence why he didn't play that. So, I think they've done a good job of managing him. They were still winning games, so they didn't have to go into it. But then since obviously Chera went out, he's able to flourish. But we all know that Chera and Hewitt and whoever the other bloke is that I'm forgetting, all take the back seat to Walsh and Cripps. So I have no dramas with Walsh doing what Walsh does.
So you're not concerned at all by injury history?
No.
No?
Nope. I think the back's right.
Do you want to know the last time he scored 166 in a game?
Never. That's his highest.
Round 18 against Collingwood in 2021, he scored 193.
Oh, shit.
That was the last time he went over 160.
The thing that I found really encouraged about Walsh was the fact of his tackles, because it's showing me that he doesn't give a shit about...
He's got trust in his body.
Yeah, he's trusting it and he's not worried about it. So he's ready to have that full-on crack. But we could sit here and talk for another half an hour about Sam Walsh and how good he is, but we've got to keep carrying on. Harry,
I just want to give a shout-out to Skitsfits. Skitsfits is currently sitting 170th overall out of 250,000 people. Give the boy his chocolates. Attaboy. And he thinks you're a sexy man for that jumper beanie combo, mate.
Salutes
get
to Skits
around him.
What a man. That's fantastic work, Skitsy. And just in honor of you, Skitsy, we can all fuck off Harry Mackay because he's done. Pitnet's absolutely screwed him. He's done. Kerno, it might be an easier time without Sam Taylor there, but still not for me. He's got to go. Jordan Boyd, here we go. Oh, Boyd. He's 374K, break even of 45. A lot better without Sard in the side. He got a 94 last week without Sard, but he's had an 83 and an 89 the 3 before that. It's not bad. Like, if you're having him, obviously you're holding him, but not bad little running track there.
No,
it's hard to trust
well
him.
There, but you're not trusting him, though.
No.
One that I do see improving, though, especially without McGovern and Sard in, is Newman. 471K, break even of 104. He was priced at nearly 600K last year when Wiedering was out.
Yep. And that was without Zach Williams as well.
Yeah, I think it's him and Zach Williams are going to be the ball users out of the back line for Carlton.
Yep, I can definitely say that too. And this is probably this is as cheap as I reckon you'll get him at 471. So I've seen a lot worse shots in the dark, and Sard's out for I think it's 6 weeks. So there's definitely there definitely could be something there for Newman.
There is.
Don't mind it. Zach Williams though, thank God we held this.
That's what we told you. Yes.
Bloody hell! Thank God we held.
Break even, mate.
6. How good's that after he had that 70 and a half and then only finished on 92, but who gives a shit? Door is still wide open for him to score, so hold big time with Sard out. And Jack Carroll, see you later, mate. You are donezo.
How done is he?
Mate, done. Play the sound. Yep. Ollie Hollins has absolutely... sorry, not Ollie Hollins. Elijah Hollins has destroyed his role. He is now sub-risk. He is now risk of not being in the team. He could be a really good VFL player, but both the Hollins have killed him.
Do you know what is better than seeing Carlton lose?
There's not much. I'll tell you that much.
The Insight Supercoach World Cup. So have you ever thought you were elite at Supercoach? Well, now you can prove it with our year-round Insight Fantasy Sports comp featuring all 4 Supercoach sports in NRL, AFL, NBL, and BBL. It's $20 to enter before the bye rounds of the AFL season, which is round 12. So get in quick. before you are locked out for the year. Your rankings will be calculated together, and the best performer over the 4 sports combined will take out the best Supercoach player in the world. The link to our Discord will be below in the description. Click on that. Hit up myself, Skiddy, Braino, Matrix, or NBA G Wiz, and we will help you out and register you.
And if you want to need help getting into that as well, and you need NRL advice, you can see our boys that just did TLT last night. That's Tinless Tuesdays. They do an absolute ripping job over there on the NRL. As you can see, Whisperer is currently in the chat at the moment. Brano was as well. So those boys are legends. Go around there and watch theirs if you need to see a good
And you know
NRL.
what? For an NRL nuffy, the Whisperer is actually sitting, I think he's top 1,000 at the moment in AFL as well. Yeah, he's doing really well.
That's because he has good people to guide him in the right direction of who to take and who not to take. You know?
He asks me who to trade in, and then he does the opposite, and then he's doing well. So good work to the Whisperer. On Saturday night, mates, we have I reckon this will be the game of the round.
Yeah,
Brisbane
I can see that.
Taking on Geelong at the Gabba.
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely, mate. We get a 7:30 start time for the Gabatoir versus versus Geelong. So we're running out. Lockie Neal, 227k, looking a lot better. Looking like that ankle is not a worry for him at all. Right. He's averaging 118 so far. He has 108, 128 last 2 versus Geelong. I wouldn't bring him in unless you think he could be a top 8 mid. I don't think he quite gets there, but I still love Neal's game nonetheless. Dunkley, though, 604k, average of 110. He's gone 115 and 130 in his last 2 versus the Cats. If he goes under 90, he'll be under 600k. And then he has an unbelievably good draw from round 8. I think he has 5 or 6 in a row that he plays very, very well against.
Absolutely, mate. Dane Zorko, 528k, 104 average, 88 break even. Doesn't historically play that well against Geelong, but the new halfback role is nice. But if you don't have him, you're not bringing him in this week. Why, might I ask? Because Bailey is out, and they're talking about pushing Zorko forward again to try and utilise his ball use inside forward 50. So it's a massive watch there.
Who gets the halfback role then? Are they going to go with bloody Archie again?
Archie or McKenna's looking like coming back this week.
Gotcha. That checks out then.
Harris Andrews, 484k break even of 99. He's got a heavy workload with Jezza and Hawkins there, but in draft, yes. In Supercoach Classic, no. Rayner, here's the interesting one, mate. 421k, 60 break even. If he keeps his inside role, especially with Rayner down at the moment, do you think there's a chance of a sneaky... Yeah, Bailey, sorry. Do you think there's a sneaky chance at a bit of a pod option here?
I mean, it's not a bad shout. Like, he can score very high. He can, he's very good with the ball. He's very damaging as well to get the clearances as well when he's used in this role. Normally he'd been a lot deeper of a forward. Not a deep forward because they have Charlie and whoever they play out of Hipwood and Danaher down there. But he goes alongside with McCarthy. But now he's playing a bit further up the ground, closer to the contest. And it is a very, very interesting role. It's Neil Bullen from Melbourne. It is, and it's very Supercoach friendly. So if he can keep it up, I'm definitely keeping the eyes on him. I'm also keeping the eyes on Answorth. He's 237k, break even of -4. With Bailey down, this could really help his job security. And he could make 25k this week. This is very interesting.
Absolutely. I'm just reading what Ass has put in the chat. One of our main guys in the Discord. He's got it on word that Fags has said that he will keep Zorko at halfback. So that is music to our Supercoach ears. Kyle Lohman as well, mate. 205k, break even of -52. Could make 40k this week. I think this guy is the biggest beneficiary in the Brisbane Lions lineup with Bailey going down.
I agree, mate. Yep, absolutely. I think he has to kind of stay in and kind of play that role as a forward pressure act. Vest is a worry, but it's probably the upside's probably a bit more of a tick than actually worrying about the vest at this stage. But it's just for weeks.
As for Geelong, Tommy Stewart looking at a 152 break even, could be 560k at the end of this round too, which would be really, really juicy.
That's what we bring him in. Absolutely. I really like that looks of Tom Stewart next round. So it's definitely one to be looking at.
I see Mick Higginson in the chat. Young this week or Stewart? I'd go Young this week and wait for Stewart to drop a little bit, mate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jezza? Can definitely say that. Jezza. Yeah, now I'm very interested here in Jezza. 458k, break even of 20. So you're not going to give him this cheap. He will have Andrews on him, but he's pushing up the ground super dangerously, like we love to see him do last year.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, I don't like having primos of a key position player, but Jez is no just ordinary key position player. He's absolutely unreal. And if he does keep pushing up the ground, he can keep getting these massive scores that he's been going on. He won't have to kick 6 like he did last week against North. You can see him get 20 disposals easily. All these contested marks, these little extra bits and pieces. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think so. Holmes, Maxi Holmes, 468k. He'll get defender DPP this week. Not massive upside, but safe as houses when it comes to getting you 80 to 100 each week. Brandon Parfitt, 368k, already made 72k this season. You're not looking to bring him in, but if you've got him, you are holding him. He could make another 25k this week. He does average 90 on the year. Jack Bowes.
He does also play very well against his next 3 opponents.
Beautiful. Nice intel there, mate. Jack Bowes, 357k. He's got a break even of 9 and could make 30k this week. He is going to get DPP as well, defender mid.
Yep.
Is he worth a look, mate?
Now, I was very, very worried about how Brad Scott had been using Bowes. I've known of his potential and how good this kid can be. I thought it was an absolute steal that Geelong got him from the Suns, but I was always worried that there was other players ahead of him or anything like that. Yeah. I have now been told from a good source that Bowes was having injury niggles, and Scott is actually very high on him, and that he actually can keep his spot in the team.
Okay.
Him as a defender, very, very interesting, because this kid is bloody good. If you've seen some of the games that he has done when he played in Gold Coast as well, absolutely unbelievable. And if he can get the CBAs when Danger and Guthrie are back, I'd rate him over Holmes quite comfortably.
Do you think he plays more back when they come back? Or do you think he still rotates mid?
See, this is the thing that worries me, because he is a good inside mid. He is a very reliable inside mid. I'm very worried about what happens when Guthrie and Danger come back, though. So, I don't know. It's a massive, massive gamble, but it could be a big payoff.
If you had to choose, mate, between Tanner Bruin and Jack Bowes or Bowes?
You mean to play or for Supercoach?
Yep. If Dangerfield and Guthrie are coming back and one of them had to be dropped,
I reckon it would be Bruin. I think they would rather the size that Bowes possesses and his ability over what Tanner Bruin can be. But Tanner Bruin obviously I think he'll be a great player down the road. I just don't think he has that amount of size yet, although he does have probably the endurance over Bowes. So, now that you're saying it, it is a bit more of a 60-40-ish.
Yeah. Dempsey, he will be over 300k this week. He's got a break even of 33. You're not going to bring him in if you don't have him, but hold if you do. And Jai, fucking Clark.
Play it.
I have to, don't I?
You do. Sorry, Asa.
I'm sorry. When you're scoring 2, that's all.
2.
Hey.
He played a quarter. He's still 2.
I can only count from 1 to potato, but I got to 2.
Yeah, so I can only count from 1 to Crouch, but we still got to where Clark counted.
I like you a lot more than
Asa
I like
just,
Crouch, though, mate.
Yeah, 100%. Asa just said that Bowes will play more back when Guthrie is back. Danger. Guthrie, Braun will get bulk CBAs. I can definitely see that as well. I would just love to see Bowes in there, but I can see him be more closer to the Danger type than Braun being able to be like, the running type of mid. So, yeah.
Thomas Rapke, we will get to your question later on, mate, but solid shout. I rate it. Saturday night derby, West Coast versus Freo. Oh. I actually think this is going to be a lot closer than what people are giving West Coast credit for.
Agreed. Absolutely. Their big midfield definitely stacks up well against Freo.
I always struggle to say this guy's surname. Elliot. Elliot, 530k, up 80k already as a break even of 14. Could make another 40k this week. 115 average. I think he's got a tag coming this way though, mate.
Yeah, you did say that he might be having a tag coming from a Longmuir, Longmire, Long whatever the fuck you are. I think I think you might be bang on there, so it makes it a little bit hard. But,
Yeah.
God, if we just took that gamble and went, screw the injury worries and everything like that, the role was there, everything was there, the playing ability was there, and shit, look how good he's going now. McGovern, 550K. Puddin, tricky one here. Plays a lot better when West Coast get killed, but I think they're a little bit better than we're giving them credit for at the moment because they're really stepping up a lot better. McGovern only got 72.
Yeah, you're bringing him in if you think it can be a top 6 back. You're not bringing him in for cash. And personally, I think he's maxed.
Yep, I agree there, mate. Absolutely. Tim Kelly, 555K. He went massive last week. Don't trust him to be a keeper, but, still good on him. He's playing well. Duggan, 527K, same as McGovern. I'm not having a bar of that at that price. If he drops, then I'll have a look. I just threw this one in to be funny. Jake Waterman. Hey, I didn't even put down how much he cost because you're never fucking picking him. But what a game last week!
He was only picked in 214 teams.
But
actually, I'm going to check and see whether anyone's silly enough to have brought him in this week because fuck me.
If there's anyone in our chat that brought in Jake Waterman, please, for the love of God, sharpen the fuck up. Come on.
He's actually gone down. He's only in 140 teams now.
Thank God. Those 140, what are you doing? Jesus Christ. Asa, he does have the rudest haircut combo since Fraser Garrick, hence why I am calling him the W train.
Yes, sir.
Not the G train, he's the W train.
Harley Reid, 318K, break even of 18. He could make 40K this week.
Mate, he's unbelievable. He's so bloody good. And when he gets that full engine, oh my God, he's taken this game over. It's unbelievable how good he is. Skits has just said that that the W train is in his team, and we may have to listen to him because he is top 100. So there you go. It would also explain how he is going that high. I think he's probably captained him.
He's just taking the piss.
No shit.
No.
Also, too, another one that belongs in the same category as the W train, Chesser. For God's sake, don't bring him in. This is exactly what he did thank you. This is what he did last year. I know he's under 200K. He has a break even of -7, but my God, he fucked everyone last year.
He's got a break even of -7, and he might not even get that with the way he was last year.
That is a bloody good shout.
He played full games last year for 20.
Yeah, 20. Unbelievable. And one of those games he didn't even get subbed out. He was just that piss poor for the whole game.
Yeah.
And yes, he is.
West Coast he is.
Jury. Yep. Let's talk about something good.
Yep. 145 Supercoach points last week, 653K. What more can you say? He is a lock for top 6 defender, mate.
Mate, unbelievable. He's that bloody good. Caleb Sarong, 632K, 127K average. He went 97 and 146 against West Coast. He has been a dual, whatever their medal winner is in the Derby, whatever.
Ross Glendenning medal.
Thank you very much. I knew it was 3 words and I wasn't going to get them right. He loves playing Freo, so we could definitely see a little something. Sorry, against West Coast.
Or Freo.
From Sarong. Brayshaw, 594.
Can I just add something there for Sarong?
Of course you can.
He has a break even of 155 this week.
Huge.
He's projected to score 134, but he could lose. Well, if he gets 134, he's still going to lose 10K. But if he scores 100, he could drop 25K this week and be near 600K next week.
Interesting. So if you have him, obviously you're holding because this could be a top 8 primo.
Absolutely.
Mid, pretty. But if you don't have him, now's not the week to bring him in. Yeah, Brayshaw, solid, but I'm not bringing him in.
No.
I see
Jackson?
Jackson, 561K. High break even, but he could score really well here. This is a massive watch because we are hearing that Sean Darcy is back this week.
Yep.
So it's a big watch.
And you know what?
He's
going to score better with Darcy in the team this week.
I can see him having a good. I can see him having a good one too. I think it's not the week to trade him out. You can, nothing wrong with that. I don't believe. I think that it's a hold this week. Could score a good 120 odd as a forward, and then we'll look to go to someone after that.
Yep. Clark, 512k. Roll is still there. If you bought him in, hold. Hayden Young, break even of 80, 550k this week. Tackling machine and his disposal efficiency is up. So if you're looking to get him in, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think you could go if you have like the primo to go to him, then yeah, absolutely, you can definitely give that a crack to be able to go to Hayden Young.
Yeah. So Pikey,
sorry, I don't know if you saw that as well, but your camera paused as you had your finger almost up your nose. So it was a great screenshot, and I really hope someone screenshots that and chucks it into the Discord chat for the boys.
Nate 5, 371k, break even at 28. Could make us another 25k this week. He's not the Fife of old, but he still looks good. Sharpie out on the wingy, -7 break even-y. Let's get some more cashy out of him before we fuck him offy.
Yeah.
Draper, he's gone. Not for Supercoach.
See you later. That was a bad idea. No, he is not for Supercoach whatsoever.
Emmett, 187k. Could see a boost with Switowski out. Frederick's still out with that hammy. Break even of 10. Don't feel confident in him though. So we will see how that goes. What do you reckon? Freo 5 goals?
You reckon Freo to win by 5 goals?
Yeah, or less.
Nah, I reckon less.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Freo have only kicked 9 goals in the last couple of games.
Yeah, they don't score unless they hold West Coast to 4. Then I don't think they win by 5 goals. So that's just the way that I'm going about it. So if there is any of those betting sites that have Freo to win by 5 goals, I'll definitely take the under every single day of the week right there, mate.
Beautiful.
And also speaking of under,
how
about someone that we'd like to be under?
Who? Right from the shoot you
said.
There it is. Are you wanting to buy your first home or even an investment property and don't know how? Are you a current owner with an interest rate over 6.2%? Well, Ryan can guarantee you that there are better options for you. Best part is he will do it for free. He's Linktree.
Oh, no.
I did it again. Linktree.
I've got
to fucking write it down. The tree. His Linktree is below. Or you can contact him on 0431766784. He's going to fucking hate me for that, but that's okay. But to his credit, though, I've been uploading documents and that sort of jazz. He's currently helping me out at the moment, and he's been awesome. Anytime, day or night. He's a ripper. So get a hold of him for all your financial assistance. On 100%. Sunday, we have the early game between the two. Sydney versus Gold Coast Suns, which I think could also be a cracker this week. For Sydney, Heaney. 638k, average 144, break even at 50. He could go up another 30 or 40k. Historically, not great against the Suns, but he's never had this role before. But on the other hand, this is the first game where he plays with Parker and Adam, should Parker be in the team. How do you think this plays out, mate?
I think it'd be stupid for Horse to be able to take him out of the midfield of how well he's playing. He's saying all the right things in the media that we're going to keep Heaney in the midfield. We're going to keep Heaney in the same role that he's playing. Well, let's bloody hope so, and I hope I see it from him. So, let's just hope for that. If you don't have Heaney, I wouldn't be bringing him in. He's way too expensive right now to be able to give that up. So I wouldn't be burning a trade for that. Errol, 607k, break even of 143, should drop below 600k this week. That is definitely a watch if you get Errol under that. The Lizard, Blakey, 515k, break even of 57. He could make 30k this week. And I mean, look, if you have a lot of faith in Nick Blakey to be a top 6 defender, then this is definitely a week where you could actually look to bring him in. He has got the run. He's got the role. It's not the most outlandish thing I've heard because he definitely has the skill as well. So wait and see there with Blakey.
For sure.
How about Grundos?
507k, yeah. If you have him and you held him, you hold.
Yep.
Break even of 82 last time against Wits, 105. Chad Warner, price is still dropping, 537k currently. What's his
Scorch?
Nickname,
that is the bleached asshole, Chad Warner. Yes, shout out to Scorch's wife. Price is still dropping, so you could definitely get him at a discount rate. I'd love to see how he integrates with Adams and Parker back into the side as well.
I think he might be a candidate for DPP come round 12.
I think he could also get the swing forward as well because I don't think you can swing Parker forward to be that as impactful that you could get from Warner. But yes, we'll definitely have to wait and see there.
The first member of the Adams family, Taylor Adams, 437k, mid forward. Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Don't jump the gun, but
I'm not that old.
Is a watch. Matty Roberts, mate, 335k. Break
you're
even
holding
13.
him.
Oh,
Hold. Absolutely.
Doubt.
Thank you very much, but not a hold. And that is James Jordan. Sorry, mate, but you've done what you need to do for us, 350k. If you didn't get rid of him last week, then a 77 break even, and he's going to be pretty well firmly stuck on that wing and not being able to do what we were anticipating to be able to get as much of as he could. Yeah.
We better turn that soundbite up. It is a bit quiet. For the Gold Coast Suns.
As loud as the gunshot.
How many times do we say Matt Rao?
Matt Rao.
625k, break even of 91, average of 131 holding here. The last 2 times he's played the Swans, he has scored 119 both times. Let's talk about the Diddley.
The Diddley, Sam Flanders, yes sir. 566k, break even of 81. Halfback role is just an absolute massive tick. We love the Diddley. I think he's easily top 6 defender. Forward from here. I think he could almost be a top 3 forward. That's how much I really like the role. Right. And his ability for the Diddley. Anderson, 155 last week. Too much of a log jam in the Suns midfield. Could be too up and down and too expensive at the moment. Tuk, 582k. Still definitely holding. But yeah, as I said, still a log jam there. I got to watch. But, Horse, do you want to do the honours?
Yeah. Who is it?
Yeah. It's Sam Closey.
Holy fucking shit. You need...
Please get 102. Please get 102.
He will be the all-time record holder if he scores 102 this week. He breaks a record for a rookie price player for points scored in his first 3 games and also money generated. I don't even care about the money at the moment. He's scoring like a primo. So let's just bring him in. Thank us later if you don't have him, and just sit him there. Sit him at your... Well, he's scoring like a D3 at the moment, but just sit him in your defense. He's going to get DPP next week too, so you can swing him forward if you want as well. Geez, that'll be nice at buy time.
Yeah, and also too, let's just say it as well. He's got a break even of minus 174.
The current record holder is Errol Goulden.
Correct.
So
2021.
He will knock him over. So the top 3 will be, I feel like he'll be him, Errol Goulden, and Michael Barlow for number 3.
Mickey.
Witts, 555k, break even of 106, 112 last week. He's starting to find form again. Mac Andrew, 304k, another good game last week with a 92, break even of negative 20. He could make you 40k in the bank. Meh.
Yeah, meh. It's a bit too pricey. If he was like 200, I'd definitely be having a look. But also too with Closey and this man, the tackling machine, Graham, 117k. It's a no-brainer. These two at that price, at their break evens, and how much cash they're going to generate. Yeah, boy.
Negative 91 break even.
Yep. Big time, yes. He could make another 60k for us this week, which is beautiful, along with Closey. Tom Berry, if you held him, 241k. You're holding he has a break even of 8 after his beauty last week. So that's an absolute win there. Uwu. The Gamer Girl, Bodie Uland, 240k break even of 10. Again, it would be an all right choice, but there's better options in Closey and Graham. And Reed, 171k, but again, better options than him. Yes, Asa, Tom Berry, definitely a hold, I would say, this week.
Yeah. In our final game of the round, in the graveyard shift, we have perhaps I'm going to go one step further. It could be game of the year.
Oh, yeah, I could agree with that.
North Melbourne versus Hawthorn. It could be, and no disrespect to AFLW, but they could post a higher score than what could happen in this game.
Shut up. Fuck off. This is going to be a barnstormer. This is going to be an absolute classic heavyweight Tyson versus Holyfield-esque kind of matchup here. This is going to be an amazing. This is going to be Khabib versus McGregor. This is The Rock versus The Undertaker. This is huge.
You are such a flog.
Oh, fuck off. Coming from the bloke that's been talking about, flag dogs for the last 1 week, and then you get shit on the week after, and then bad week. All right, let's get stuck into it. Let's talk about something that we can both agree with. How good's bloody Harry Sheasel? She's God.
He's the best.
628K. Thank you very much. I don't get many right, but far out I got that right.
He's got an 80 break even and could go up another 20K this week.
Yeah, you bloody oath you can. It's because when you have one of the best players in the AFL on your team, you give him the fucking ball. Tristan Xerri, 482K. Hit the fucking ball to your team. For Christ's sake, is it that goddamn hard? Even remotely close to them. He is losing so many points on not having a hit out to advantage. It's crazy. But the only reason why he is getting a good Supercoach score this week is because he's tapping it to the wrong team, tackling them, and he's currently third. Tristan Xerri is third in the AFL for tackles so far this year.
And did you also know that he's in the bottom 20% for hitouts to advantage?
Shock. Who would have fucking thought that? Weak as piss, be better. I'm bringing the cone in early for him.
Oh, Jesus. I was about to say, is he cone of the week? And he hasn't even played yet. The condom.
Oh, Charlie. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 227K could make a shitload this week.
We've had some questions, mate. Yep. Would you boost for him this week?
See, because obviously we're going to go Closey and Graham.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind a boost to get Comben in. I think his role is bloody solid. We've seen that he can get a big Supercoach score to 127 against the Lions. A little bit down last week, but Jezza does require a bit more certainty around him and attention. Yes, but his hands are good. He's he's got a good intercept mark. He can kick the ball with needed, which we saw last week, that he was able to actually hit targets coming out of defense. So I really like his role, and I really like the way that he plays it. So, yeah, I can definitely say it.
Good, mate. The Catalina wine mixer.
Pow, pow.
Pow, pow. 425K, break even to 71. You are still holding him. He's only once scored under 92 this year. LDU, 528K. Bottom dollar. Break even of 125. He does play well against the Hawks, but probably not likely to drop much more in price. Would you agree?
I would agree. I am hoping and praying that he can get at least somewhat of a chance this week. So hopefully LDU bounce back. Biggie Newen. I know a lot of people are asking us about Biggie. I would not pull the trigger yet. No. I know he's bottom dollar. I don't care. He's not getting DPP because he won't play enough games. He's not on the bubble, and there is a chance that he may get dropped. So we'll wait and see how that goes. Drury, same as Biggie. Although, as much shit as I talk about that, little redhead, I just don't have the full confidence in him. What, am I not allowed to say redhead?
No, you are. But I'm not bringing him in because last year he did the same. I'm going to bring up his stats because he got us money and we're like, wow, this guy's going to be good. And then he shit the bed so bad.
Yeah,
so
he did.
He scored us. So he scored a 51 in round 8 against Port Adelaide, against St Kilda, sorry. And then he scored 17.
Yep.
And then he scored 12. That was the game that we went to.
Yep.
And then we never saw him ever again. Then he got dropped. So he was at 102K. He got to 112K. And then we didn't see him for the rest of the year.
Yep. But he's another year older.
No, sorry. I lied.
You did see him one more time.
One more time against Richmond. He scored 9.
Yep.
And he lost money from 112K and went back to 102.4K because he couldn't go any lower. That's about as low as you can get.
Yep. In fairness to him, he did not look as piss poor as normally does. He was getting in a lot better positions, which was a massive flag for him. He was marking the ball outside 50, so he was getting inside 50s as well. It was better. I just don't trust it because, yes, he's been dog shit in the past, but that was his positioning around the ground was a lot better than it had been. A lot of people, again, are asking about Biggie. Look, I know he scored well for Supercoach, but he fucked up so many times last week against Geelong. He was out of position. He misread plays. He didn't listen to the orders from people down back. I know he scored well. I don't care. There's still a chance purely because of an AFL fact that he played shit that he may get dropped. Fisher, 390K, break even to 66. Roll is still there, but he definitely needs to clean up the efficiency because that's been a bit shithouse.
Absolutely.
And Colby McKercher, big one here, 282K. Now, he may be a trade-up option if you want. I'm holding purely because I want to get rid of Carroll first because he's worse. The job security is still there. I know he's got that 6 for 2 more weeks, but as you know, as we sometimes say, if you've got the job security, then you're going to want to hold him over other players that may miss out on games. So I do have to hold Colby.
If you're holding, you ignore the price decrease that he's going to get this week. He's got a break even of 101.
Yeah, in fairness, it's only looking like he may lose probably about 15, 20K. So it's not insurmountable for him to come back a couple of weeks after that to rectify that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and you're holding him for the DPP as well, so you can swing him back.
Yep.
For the Hawks, Lloyd Meek Mill.
Meeky Mill.
401K, break even of 17. He will have the solo ruck duties because Reeves got a concussion in the VFL last week and he is out this week. Carlos Amon, 479K, break even of 54. He will get defensive PPP. Still a no. He does average 109 over his last 2 games, though. Sicily, 550K, break even of 126. Could lose more coin this week, and I'm okay with it. Massimo D'Ambrosio.
Thank you very much, Massimo D'Ambrosio. Yes, thank you very much for actually having a good score last week. He's got a break even now of 34 at 336K. Definitely holding for now. Newcomb. Oh, my God. Imagine if you started with this bloke. Far out. 480K he's out to now. This could be the week where he finally turns it around because he does like playing North. He has 102 break even. He has the role. He has the opportunity. He's just been absolute shithouse. Now, Horse.
Yeah.
As I said before, Collingwood have only one player that's averaging over 100 in Nick Dacos. Do you know how many players are averaging 100 for Hawthorn this year? Donuts.
0.
Not one Hawthorn player is averaging over 100 Supercoach points this year. Meek is the closest with 99.7. So, stuff him.
Yep. Yeah, I think as an Essendon supporter, we don't like Hawthorn at the best of times, but Supercoach relevancy is not there for Hawthorn at the moment. So if you bought in Meek, you're holding him, you're making coin, and then you can trade up to a Marshall or a Witts or sort of work your way out. Even English in a couple of weeks could be in the 500s, so it might be worth your time. But we're going to now get into what we call our buy, hold, and sell.
Target acquired.
Let's start off with Sam Darcy this week.
Yep. Well, look, you could count him as a buy because his break-even's low, but again, this is Bevo effect bullshit. So I'm not overly confident with this one, but Darcy makes it on the list. Jack Steele, I think he's just going to be a top 6 mid. So if you have the cash and you're able to do it, I would definitely looking at bringing in Steele just whenever you can before his price skyrockets. Isaac Rankin, really like this one. Forward, he could genuinely be top 6 forward this year if he keeps that CBA's high because, as we said, Shai Bolton-esque.
Yep.
It's a massive, it is a huge risk, but shit, it could definitely pay off well because he still kicks
100%.
goals when he goes forward.
Yeah, he does.
Yep.
Saligo.
Slug.
The Slug.
He did. Yep.
Yeah. He's been playing a really good role inside, and I'm buying stocks in Saligo.
Yep.
Now, I've got a ballsy one for you, mate.
Okay.
I'm buying stock in Jordan Dawson.
Oh, you're buying now.
Yep.
I like it. I like it.
Yep.
If it's any week that he's going to perform, it's this week. But if he does not perform against Essendon without Matt Crouch, I have lost all faith
Absolute all faith. That's why I'm putting me nuts on the line and saying this is the week that he will turn it around.
Okay. I like it, mate.
Essendon have a small midfield.
Yep.
Saligo, Laird.
Oh.
Saligo, sorry. The Slug. Laird, Dawson, Rankin. That's a lot more dynamic than Crouch Potato.
Yep.
So,
Agreed. Crouch Potato needs to go. Absolutely. Nankervis for Adelaide. He's got a negative break even, so you could have a go there. Nick Newman.
So.
Now, this is one that we both really like here. We start out for 6 to 8. He has been close to 600K before. You could definitely have a crack at Nick Newman, and this is the week to do it. He has a break even, I think it's of 70 or 80 or something like that. He could definitely turn it around. He also, too, let me just quickly double check as well before I start talking shit out my ass. Newman, he has a break even of 104, could definitely make that. But last week, I believe he was on 40 odd or something like that at halftime, and then he shot through the roof after Saad got injured. So definitely does help him a shitload. And as we said, he's been a good player before. Zach Williams, you're definitely buying now with Saad out. He can definitely put the games up at a cheap price. Has a low break even as well. Ainsworth, if you want to have a crack, huge crack, you can go Ainsworth. Same as Lohman for Brisbane with Zach Bailey out. Job security is looking a lot better now. Ballsy one in Geelong, though, Horse, with Jack Bowes.
Yeah, that's huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's meh.
Purely depending on if he can keep CBAs. Our boy Asa has said he doesn't believe that he can do it because more faith in Tanner Bruin. Matty Roberts, though, I still think he could still be a bring-in. He's still got a low break-even. He's got a great role. He can make some absolute great coin for us. But let's be honest here. None of these guys mean shit because it's either going to be the Condom, Closey, or Graham that everyone's bringing in this week. So stuff the rest of them. Don't worry about it. Just want to bring a bit more uncertainty around. But let's be honest, bring those three in.
Yeah, they're the big ones. And also, if you want to go up to a primo or someone that's playing like a primo, Hayden Young.
Yep, Hayden Young could definitely be there. I don't mind Young. I don't mind
roles
Rankin.
there. The tackles are there. His disposal efficiency's up now.
Yep.
It's pretty much what you're going to get now is what you're going to get for the season for him.
Unfortunately, like his whole Supercoach scoring is basically banked on his disposal efficiency, and it's not tied to he's going to do the little bits and pieces every here and there because he gets the tackles and everything like that. But it's solely based on if he can actually kick the ball correctly and if he can put it into the right areas on the ground. So, 100%,
mate. Now, let's get into who we think you should be selling.
Yes, sir.
At the top of the list, I apologise in advance to all Western Bulldogs owners, supporters. It hurts, but Riley Sanders, I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't think I can say I'm sorry. I can't even play the get the garbage out.
Don't play it because you can. We don't have to do it this week because he still does have a break even that is attainable. So you can hold one more week, but it's not looking good for him. Gallagher, though, you can definitely play the fucking sound for him. Get that garbage out of here. Thank you. I'll let you be the judge of this next one, mate, because
he's only got a break even of 57, but the boner, the stiffy,
flaccid,
he's gone. So I'm selling. Cadman's the same. He's got a break even of 40, but I'm selling only because I'm going up to Flanders this week. Yep. Hogan, your classic primo forward, can go large 2 weeks and then shit the bed on all other days ending in Y. Harry McCoy. He's definitely
he's gone.
Price.
Yep,
especially with the puzzling move, mate, that Carlton bought in Pitnet.
Oh, If he gets dropped, then yeah, I can see the hold for Mackay, because then he gets back into his ruck work, and then he gets his tackles up, and then he gets all these little extra bits and pieces that inflates his score to north of 100. But without that, it's just really yuck. And Pitnet, yuck. So I don't know about that. Carroll, I think that he overrides everyone on this list. If you have Jack Carroll, it's done. He's gone.
Am I playing?
Yeah, you're playing it 100%. The Hollands boys have absolutely killed him. He's done. Jai Clark, Sorry-Asa, 2. Horse, 2. Done. Don't care about that. He's gone. Josh Draper from Fremantle. Those 3, it's not even a question. They're gone. Jordan. He's as close to
He scored okay.
Button.
He scored okay.
But I think he's done his job. And
he's
the wing role, just holding there on the wing, it's not enough for us in fairness. So, he can probably go. I reckon he's an upgrade time. Colby McKercher, that's 6 hertz.
Yeah.
But the job security is there, which is nice. You're going to have to wait a couple of weeks to get him back up in price, but he can definitely still score.
It depends if you need some security in your defense or whether you want to use his coin now to upgrade into a primo. That's how you've got to manage it. Yeah,
absolutely. And him getting that DPP will be nice in defense, where we have obviously had a few injuries and stuff like that. So I think he could still be a hold, even though he might lose a couple of coin the next week or two. And no, I'm not worried about his going into the midfield role and his centre clearances. He still will get ability around the ground. They just got to find the right place for him. I think that they might end him up on a wing, and Dylan Stevens might get a bit of a VFL go.
Stint, yeah. Now we're going to look at who we think you should be holding for the week. Hold! Who doesn't love a bit of Braveheart? And we're going to start with our Western Bulldogs duo.
Yep.
The Bont and Tinglish.
Yep. If you haven't,
definitely hold them. You're not trading them sideways.
Right up.
Because they're just as likely to go fucking bonkers this week as what they are any other week. So against St Kilda as well, where Bont averages, 130 in his last 3?
I think it's actually like 144. No, it's well over that, actually. No, it's like 100. It's 150 odd, 160 odd in his last 3.
Fucking hell. Yep, there you go. That's why you're holding. Your boy?
Swing him. I don't know if I may have just put this in because it's funny to hold our Wangs, but we're still holding our Wangs. He's got a break even of 81, still holding there. If you have lead, don't worry about that down week. It's still a hold. He does play shit house against. He plays well against Essendon, so that's all right. Francis, who the fuck is Francis?
No, I got you. You wrote that in there, so I got no idea who Francis is.
Let me check.
While you're checking that, Tommy Green from GWS. You're not trading sideways. Harvey Thomas, he's still making coin. You're holding him. He's got a 10 break even. You're holding him. Zach Williams, he's got a break even of 9. You're holding him as well. Tommy Stewart, you're not going sideways from him. He's just as likely to come out and score 130 this week. Who's it meant to be?
It was Horn Francis. Sorry.
Him.
Yep. Horn Francis.
Francis. You're holding him.
Yeah, that check. Yep.
We're up to Dempsey. Dempsey's got a break even of 33. You are holding him. You're not trading him yet, but you're also not buying stocks in Dempsey if you don't have him. This guy, Elliot. There it is, Elliot. Yes, you are holding. You are buying. You are just, he's in your team this week though with a chance that he may be tagged by Bailey Banfield from Freo. It could curtail his scoring output. Bailey, I went back and watched some film today, Skiddy, of when Bailey Banfield did perform some tagging duties for Fremantle, and he's exceptionally good. He's got a big body. Like he's a bigger kind of guy. He does a really good job at players that try and hit the contest at pace. And that's where Yo was getting a lot of his ball last week, on the move, in and under. So it could work a treat. So
yeah, exactly right. And this is a guy, he's a guy that was playing centre half forward for Fremantle, and think of think Connor Nash. He's basically the same size build as Connor Nash, just doesn't have the engine that Nash does to do it for a whole game. But that's just the way that it goes. Ray Brown just said Bont looks injured too. That's my concern. Ray, he was also injured 2 weeks ago where he scored 142. So don't be too worried about it. It's still the Bont. He's just that bloody good.
Mm-hmm. Harley Reid.
Yep, Harley.
Yep.
Oh,
he's
God.
got a small break even. Hold him.
Yep.
Jordan Clark.
Yep.
You're holding him.
Yep, absolutely.
Jeremy Sharp,
I still think he's all right.
He's still got a negative break even, -7, I think it is. Nate Fife, 28 break even. He'll safely accommodate for that. Matty Roberts, if you got him, small break even, could still make us 100K. Mm-hmm. My plan is next week to swing him back into my defense.
Me too.
Berry.
Tommy Berry.
Sam Berry or Tommy Berry?
Tommy Berry from Gold Coast. He has a very small break even after his 88 last week. So, yeah, we're still definitely holding him. Lloyd Meek, if you brought him in, still holding him. Yep, Mickey Mill. I can't say the next name because it is racist. So, horse, please.
Massimo D'Ambrosio.
Thank you very much. Pizza, pasta, wine, and that. Yeah. He's definitely a hold after a good week last week. So, he's still a whole low break even. He can be upgraded soon. And Luke Jackson, horse.
He has a large break even, mate, but against West Coast this week, he could go. I'm gonna pick early 130s for Jackson this week.
Interesting. I do like that.
Now, we have a little thing that we'd like to put out to the community, and that's called our Captain's Corner.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, Captain!
I can hear you. Isaac Heaney. It's just a jet, isn't he?
Yeah, he's so bloody good, mate. So normally I have a bit of stats to be able to back up what I'm saying here, but, since he played forward the last few times, I don't care, though. So he's just that fucking good.
Average of 144 this year.
Correct. That's all I needed to hear. So, I'll definitely be having a go at Heaney. For the captains, there's a good chance on that. Kizza, you can get stuffed. No chance am I putting the C on Lob. That would be funny, though. Sheasel, 120, 103 in his last two against the Hawks. He'll get a shitload of the pill again. He's averaging 33 disposals this year. Yep. So she's going to have a go. Steele, very interested in this one. 133. Guilty. Yeah, you're going VC on Steele?
VC on Steele, yep.
Over Bontempelli.
Yep.
Interesting. I don't mind it at all. 133 last year against the Dogs, and he's obviously been on an absolute tear, stepping his game up with the tackles and every other little bits and bobs that he's doing. Zach Merritt, good one here that we're anticipating. 136, 143, 135 in his last three games against the Flag Crom. Caleb Sarong. He's gone 146 against the Dockers, and he loves playing in the Derby. When the Derby medal's on the line, genuinely takes the piss. I'm pretty sure he's won 3 or 2 of them, and he's scored, I think it's 146 and 165.
Wow,
yeah.
Loves a Glendenning medal. Tommy Green, 145 last time against Carlton. Lockie Neal, 108, 128 last 2 against the Cats. The Bont, his last 3 against the Saints, 125, 181, 159. English, 139 last time against the Saints, but I don't like what he's been putting up of late, so I'm fading any form of VC or C options there. Nick Dacos, 149. He scored last year against the Port. Power. Stewart, 152 against Brisbane last time. Could we?
Horse. I put LDU on this list. Why? Because he's gone 135, 130 against Hawthorn in his last 2. Interesting enough, the latest one, that was with Cherry as a sole ruck. So it can be done.
There's a chance.
Please, for the love of God.
I mean, he plays against Lloyd Meek this week. There's a chance that Xerri, or however you say his name, could tap it to your own team.
He also played against Stanley last week and won the hitouts by 30, and still we lost the clearances by 30. So I have no faith that even when it's him winning the hitouts, it's going to go anywhere remotely near LDU, even though it should be going straight to LDU every single fucking time. But
do you know who Xerri reminds me of?
The
bloke off Happy Gilmore that chases the guy going, "That's Mr. Gilmore's jacket." There's a bit of that about him.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable.
But next, as we said at the start of the episode, we're going to get into everyone's questions.
It's question time. Let's answer your questions for the week ahead.
Asa, I'm not shitting on Stanley. All right. I know he's a premiership ruckman and congratulations on 200 games, but he lost the hitouts by 20 or 30 and still they couldn't go to a fucking North Melbourne advantage. All right. So I will talk shit because he won the hitout battle. He was just shit at it.
Stanley's the type of guy that drives quicker in reverse.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. I like that analogy.
So, for those of you that missed the start of the episode, Ian kicked his son out last week after making some shocking shit trades and told him that he's got to sleep outside for the week or find somewhere else to stay. After him coming 215th last week, he is allowed back in the house and no longer at the train station. So, Ian's boy, if you're watching, I'm glad you've got a roof over your head. Supercoach Whisperer, justice for Sanders.
Yeah.
If Bevo doesn't sort his shit out, he will be the pick for Tasmania in a couple of years' time. Not surprising. Ryan Hammond, Rory Lobb, squeeze of the week, 432. Jesus Christ.
If he comes out and gets over, let's say 70, I will be absolutely shocked. And I will scull 2 beers on the review show if he gets over 70.
Over 70, you're necking
over
2 beers.
70. Yeah, I'll neck 2 beers.
Mark that, ladies and gentlemen. Be here for it. Hizza.
Courtesy of the
Inside Fantasy Sports is fucking sexy. You are spot on, mate. The Whisperer, Max King dropped. He's not dropped. He's got an injured knee, but I can't calm him down either. Our good friend, Godfather. He is a ripper person. Brandon Stevens, Combe will be the reason why Darcy doesn't get DPP. You know what, mate?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Unfortunately.
Bryce, lads, Clark and McKercher to Graham and the condom. I can't afford any more premios, so trying to make downgrades and make cash to upgrade in a few weeks. Yes.
Yeah, I like it, mate. If you have Carroll, I would do him over McKercher, but I can see that. But yes, and that is also too, if you have Closey already, and which I hope you do.
Yep. Michael Higginson, thank you for joining us, Mick. Do I hold my boner for one more week or try and squeeze every bit out or release this week?
Brilliant.
I like that a lot. Mate, I've gone the amputation. I've gone the denacking. He's gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't mind. I don't mind holding your boner one more week. So I think you can squeeze it a little bit more out. I think there might be a little bit more juice left in the pipeline. But if you want to release this week, I don't mind it also.
I think when you're at the hospital and they what is it, last rites before you pass away? It's the last rites for the boner.
Yeah, it's definitely the last rites of the boner. They're about to bring out the old what's that thing when you put the tube up there?
The tubing? I don't know.
Shit.
I don't know.
Someone tell me in chat.
Asa, how come Crouch didn't get good bloke tax?
Because he sucks.
Yep. Hinge is rated the number 1 half-backer this year by CD. Wow.
Oh, interesting. That actually kind of doesn't surprise me as well. I know he's not the best for Supercoach, but that doesn't surprise me at all because he's been unreal off half-back.
He's been awesome, hasn't he?
Yeah, especially like after Wayne Malera went down. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Brycey says, started with Houston. Is he a hole considering he isn't making cash? Don't care. He's a top 6 defender. Could be top 3. You keep holding Houston. And that's a great start.
Yep. Skits, our 171st overall.
Mm-hmm.
Nice beanie, Skids. Get around
Thanks,
it,
brother.
Appreciate it. They're good quality material.
Very swanky.
Just going through.
Colonoscopy was the thing that I was calling off, Horse.
Beautiful. Yeah. Young this week or Stewart next week. Bit worried about all the potential primos I have on round 14 buys. I only have one player on the Freo port buy at the moment. Smart move, mate. I would bring in Young this week.
Yep, I can also say that. I know Stewart's going to go down in price most likely this week, so I can I can get around both of them. But yeah, as we said, Young's basically all tied to his disposal efficiency, and as long as he keeps that up, then he's going to keep being a hold.
What has Lions done wrong?
Actually, just real quickly, who do you think has the highest ceiling out of Stewart and Young?
Stewart.
I think so too, but I don't think Young's that far off.
He's not that far off, no.
I think Stewart's is his ceiling's becoming a little bit more few and far between from previous years where we've seen him be, pretty consistent around that 120 mark.
Mhm.
I think it's starting to go a little bit though.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Jack Henry is doing a pretty good job down there as well of late.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but it's not that because he's still taking the intercept marks. You know what I mean? So it's got to be from somewhere else of why the reason that Stewart isn't getting these massive scores, because he's still getting the intercept marks.
Mhm.
Is it less time locked down in Geelong's backline that he's not getting tackles and the little 1%ers and stuff like that? I'm going to research into that and get back to you on that.
Yep, no worries. What else we got? Nick Newman in. He will average 110 the next month with Sard and McGovern out 46 weeks. We both agree, don't we, mate?
That. Yep, absolutely. I like that one.
Yep.
And now's the time. Price is low.
Absolutely.
I think his break-even's about 100 or so. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thanks for joining us, Suv. Good lad.
Suv.
A lot of input in the Discord. We love what he brings. He's locking in Steel for my... smart minds think alike, my man. And then Skits just reminding me that it is Linktree.
What a man. Just got to get the cheeky little emotions in there. VC for me is, if you have Steel, it's Steel or Bont for me. It's one of those two.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm personally going Bont because I don't have Steel.
Tom Berry a hold?
Yep, holding the berries. Definitely holding the berries. Very low break even, so really like to hold the berries.
Northern Hawks under 176.5?
No.
Unders?
Yes.
Yep, same.
What's that, 80 each?
Yeah, about that. 78 each. Yeah.
Yeah, they play as fast style of game plan, so maybe. Actually, it'll be pretty close.
This is a good question. How come Sheesgood doesn't get the same applause as Nick Dacos? It's not because he's Jewish. I think it's because of the footy club that he plays at.
100% it's the footy club that he plays at. It's because Dacos plays for Collingwood. And also, too, you got to give the flowers to Nakos as well, because he's also a premiership player. But Shees was better than him.
Is it worth bringing in Powell if you missed him? Asking for a friend. And that friend is probably him.
Pow, Catalina wine mixer. Yeah, I can still say you're going all right. It just depends if you bank on him being a top 6 forward for the rest of the year. I think, yep, exactly right. And I think he's around the mark for the rest of the year too.
I'll check that quickly while we're here, mate. But Tom Powell is currently ranked 10th for forwards this year.
Now, is that... Sorry, hang on a second. But that is that on an average?
Yes.
That's on average for
season forward ranked 10th overall.
10th. That's including Comben only playing 2 games. And then we got to factor in the factors in there is that we got to factor in Jackson probably going to lose because of Darcy. Mackay losing because Pitnet's in. Hogan is now called off because his schedule isn't as good. And the other one's Kerno. So
I think he's a top 8.
Yep, I can definitely see that too.
Yep. Are you guys concerned with McCulture's role through the mid? Yes.
A little bit, but I can also see him flourishing in the other roles, and North are going to throw him around a little bit.
According to CD, Massimo D'Ambrosio is a number 1 rated wingman, according to CD, and Ollie Dempson is number 4. Wow.
Interesting. I thought he was playing on half back for the last couple of weeks, but there you go.
Yep.
Been moved back.
Ray Brown is holding Carroll with Blues injuries. He keeps his spot. He definitely does. Is there much more going on?
I can see him getting dropped. McGovern will
Matthew
get dropped.
Granger. Thanks for joining us, Matty. Who to play out of where? Graham Sanders and Mr. Wilson.
Interesting one. I think I like Graham the most there. The Wilson and Weir are both wingmen. Graham's getting a lot of tackles and a lot of time on the ball in the CBAs, and as is Sanders, but Sanders has obviously been a sub-risk a lot. Yep. So I think I'm most confident in Graham.
Yep. Ray Brown again. Big Horse, what's your thoughts on why I'm going Steele versus Bont? A little bit the ankle syndesmosis. Bont was down last week. Steele seems to be getting better and better and better. Steele is the number 1 inside mid, but is also going forward and being quite attacking as well. I do feel like this is a week where Bont bounces back, but consistency-wise, I think Steele gets me 140 in this game. He is their premier mid, and even Crouch used to take a little bit off him, but now that Crouch isn't playing, and they've got the likes of Windhager and Hill and sort of lighter bodies, he's the one that's doing the majority of the dirty work. So Steele for me is a bit like Liberatore, but can use the ball a bit better.
Yep, I like that. Also, too, Zach Jones is in this week, so that's just another spanner in the works, and he is Steele-esque.
We got anything else, mate? Oh,
yeah.
Deadly's joined us. Welcome,
What a man.
Deadly. Hey, what a man. Love his work in the Discord and in the punters
Yes,
app as well. Loman an option with Bailey injured. Absolutely, mate. -40, I think it is, break even this week, Skiddy.
Yep, absolutely, mate. He'll probably roll into Bailey's role, but also, too, we said that he's probably the fourth pickup behind Condom, Graham, and Closey this week.
Mitch, thanks for joining us, mate. Will Took be a top 10 mid? Yes.
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable, even though the Suns' midfield is so bloody goddamn stacked.
It is.
But it's around the mark, that's for certain. I'm not sure if he'll be in the top 10, but he'll be around the mark.
I'm saying top 10, but definitely not top 6. Yeah.
Okay, I'm saying around the mark. I reckon I could see him go to maybe the 14th or so as well.
Ray Brown, he's younger top 6 defender.
Around the mark as well.
I'd say top 10, not top 6.
I can definitely agree with that.
Sublaki, Liberatahini. No.
No, I don't think so either. I want to see how Heaney goes with these inclusions of Mills and Parker this week, and then also too not Mills and Parker, Adams and Parker, and we've still got Mills to come back at another date.
Pitnet will not play this week from Peter Sobey. Thanks for joining us, Pete.
God, I hope you're right.
And if you're the brother, father, son of Nathan Sobey, congratulations to that man signing at South Melbourne, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
Yep, absolutely.
Jamie, thanks for joining us, mate. Gorn and Jackson. Would you move Jackson on after West Coast? Depends what he scores, mate. I think there's still a solid role there for Jackson at Fremantle. And you've got to remember, he could nearly still be a top 6 forward anyway.
That is a very good point. He definitely could.
There's
no real forwards that are coming into DPP either.
No. So for your swings, he could average 100. You know, he's averaging 110 this season. The people are bagging him out, but he's not a top 2 ruckman.
No.
But
forward.
But as a forward, averaging 110, it currently ranks him.
There's not many other forwards aside from Heaney as well that can go that large.
He's currently ranked number 4 for forwards at the moment.
Yep. We know we're worried about Darcy, but he can still do damage up forward. Let's remember that. There's not many people that can contest with him in the air. Maltesing said better than Dacos. Let's see if Shees plays in a grand final. Hook, line, and sinker, brother. Hook, line, and sinker. Look, if Sheasel was in the role of Dacos, he would have won a Brownlow.
And that's another discussion for another day. Grant, our last question for the evening. Is Zorko worth a watch? He's worth more than a watch, mate. If you're buying him this week. If not, he will be too expensive. But for me, a 35-year-old with a history of hamstring injuries is the reason why I'm steering clear. Agreed. Anything else you'd like to add before we knock off for the evening, mate?
Nah, Horse. Nah, I'm all good with that, mate. It's been a fantastic show. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Absolutely love all your work and all the time that you give us, and it makes us just make this so much more easier because we just get all the love from you guys. So big shout out to you guys and shout out to our merch. We just get to talk footy with a heap of good blokes and chicks that come in here, love their footy. All like-minded people, love a frothy. If you're not already, like, subscribe, bell, be a triple banger. But most importantly, jump in the Discord because we do this all weekend, every weekend when we're talking footy. So join Discord, be a triple banger. But for this evening, this is Skiddy and I'm the Horse. And this has been another episode of the Insight Fantasy Sports AFL podcast. We'll see you Sunday.